Ukraine and the United States signed a mining agreement last night after long negotiations. Ukraine managed to include a clause in the agreement that it is not indebted to the United States. This saved it from having to repay military aid. However, it did not receive security guarantees from the Trump administration.
Long-standing negotiations between Ukraine and the United States have yielded results. The two countries signed a mining agreement. The agreement gives the United States privileged access to new investment projects to develop Ukraine's natural resources such as lithium, graphite, oil, and natural gas. It was also agreed to establish a joint fund to finance investments in Ukraine's reconstruction. The signing of the agreement was announced by Ukrainian Economy Minister Yulia Severydenko, who traveled to Washington. Severydenko said that this would attract global investors to Ukraine. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the agreement demonstrates the United States' commitment to the peace process, with a free, sovereign, and prosperous Ukraine at its center. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky rejected the Trump administration's first draft at the start of the negotiations, saying he would not sell his country. After difficult negotiations, a middle ground was found. Accordingly, Ukraine will retain full ownership of the mineral resources on its territory. It will also be Kiev's initiative to determine which minerals will be extracted from where. The United States and Ukraine will be equal partners in the investment fund to be established under the agreement on a 50% basis. Ukraine's biggest gain was to include in the agreement that it will not be considered indebted due to the U.S. aid provided during the Biden era. But will the agreement provide Ukraine with security guarantees? No concrete clause was included in the text. Nevertheless, the agreement is a victory for Ukraine, which is expecting concrete assistance from the Trump administration. This is because future U.S. military aid to Ukraine will be considered part of its investment in the Common Fund. In this context, Kiev will be able to receive critical weapons such as air defense systems. Despite these important provisions, the agreement is not without uncertainties. First of all, the true value of Ukraine's mineral resources is unknown. Moreover, the extraction and processing of these rare earth elements is a long and complex process, requiring billions of dollars of investment. Most importantly, Ukraine's richest mineral resources are currently under Russian occupation. Russia's reaction to the deal was swift. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's National Security Council, said that the U.S. was forcing Ukraine to pay back for the military aid it has provided so far.